is Juliet Andrew. I'm a rising senior from Troop 8387 at Christ School. I am head of hair and makeup, lead costuming mistress and stylist, as well as stage manager for the past 2 years. My vision for college is to major in fashion/costume design. Today, I will be presenting Catherine of Aragon from Six the Musical, Cinderella's ball gown from Into the Woods, and Big Bad Wolf from Into the Woods. This is my Catherine of Aragon costume from Six the Musical that I competed with at the 2024 Louisiana State Thespian Festival and received a superior rating. So with the costume, I wanted to keep everything as close to the original as I possibly could, while adding a little bit of a twist to it. I tried to replicate all of the gold detail patterns that you see, while also making it into a pattern that made sense with the materials that I had. All of the studs that you see are all heat fixed on, instead of being either sewn on or studded on like how the original costume would have been. Heat fix is just an easy, durable, and not as time-consuming way as either being sewn on or studded on. Trying to make it look as close to the original as possible, I sewed each skirt panel individually compared to how the pattern that I had for the costume would have made it all been sewn together as one, but that wouldn't have made the skirt fit as well. With the lining in the skirt, I had to make sure that it wasn't so tight so that it wouldn't pull the costume as much. And if you see all over the costume, you would see that it has bias tape, and I had never used bias tape before this project, so I really had to find a technique that worked for me. This costume really showed me frustration and confusion, but it really trained me for other projects I would have in the future. This is my Cinderella's ball gown from Into the Woods. It is made out of a crepeback satin, and as well as the Cinderella 2015 movie pattern. So if you know the Cinderella 2015 movie, you would know that the original dress had big puffy sleeves. But because our Cinderella had to transform from her apron dress to her ball gown on stage, the big puffy sleeves wouldn't be able to hide well underneath the dress. So I resolved that by just sewing a regular strap on it, and then still adding that special element, I hand sewed all of this beautiful golden trim to the top. Looking at the Cinderella shoes that we already had made, we wanted to add a little bit more sparkle to the dress. So on the bodice, you can see all these rhinestones and flowers and birds, and that's to really match more into the shoes. While I have never competed with this dress, it is still one of my favorites. It has shown me why it is so important to have a well-fitting garment, because if the dress wasn't so well-fitting, we wouldn't have been able to hide it so well underneath our transformation dress. This is my Big Bad Wolf costume from Into the Woods that I competed with at the 2025 Louisiana State Thespian Festival, where I received a superior rating. I fabricated the chenille by using 5 layers of black and gray cotton fabric, then sewing 45-degree angle channels, and then slashing them in different patterns to create this fray effect that you see. With all my work, I really focus on the details. With all the cut marks that you see, that is meant to look like scratch marks from a wolf. As well with all the fray effect, it is meant to look like wolf fur. All of the seams are facing outwards to create line and movement in the jacket when the actor is moving on stage. If you look in between those outward seams, you'll be able to see fur bursting out, and that is really meant to represent the wolf like bursting out of his jacket. If you take a close look at the hat, you'll be able to see on the hat band this swirl pattern as well as red rhinestones. The swirl pattern is meant to pay tribute to the original Into the Woods Big Bad Wolf character. With his suit and his tie has the same swirl pattern on it. And as well as the red rhinestones are meant to represent his glowing red eyes. This jacket has given me the skills and the confidence that I didn't have before, and as well has really shown me that the details are really what makes a costume. Unfortunately, I have a conflict this summer that will make me unable to attend International Thespian Fest. I will be in New York for a 2-week time span, attending Vogue Summer School. While I might not be there in person, my emails are always open. Thank you for your time.